Emotions and unconscious processes may have more to do with chronic pain than structural problems. I'd been trying to heal from the persistent pain I felt by fixing the deformities in my physical body. I was doing all my exercises, taking my walks, using my supportive devices, visiting all the doctors. It wasn't working. And I found it confusing. Every proposed next step sounded invasive, and they all came with a list of additional conditions I might develop. And yet, I remained focused on fixing this body because it was causing the pain. Which in hindsight is strange, because I seem to have been born with the belief that the energy that created this body can heal this body. I'd worked for years in sports rehab and knew deep in my bones that surgery usually made things worse. So why was I so focused on fixing the body? Because I've been conditioned to believe a problem in the physical structure of the body causes pain. It's what we believe as a society, and it doesn't leave room for anything else, so I persisted. But I'm on what I call a spiritual awakening. My intuition has begun intuiting, and I began questioning. What if the persistent pain wasn't caused by a physical deformity? What if there was more going on? What if it wasn't just the body? What if there was something within the rest of me that was contributing to the pain? I began examining the habitual emotional states I found myself in and the familiar thought patterns I was attracting. I noticed how I talked to myself, how I treated myself, how I thought about myself, my life, and the pain. And I began to change those. I changed my focus. Instead of focusing on finding the right surgeon, the right exercise, or the right prescription for the body, I began opening my heart, releasing repressed emotions, and cultivating self-compassion. And relief followed. Once I began focusing on my emotions, subconscious beliefs, and surrendering to life, my pain went away. And as far as I know, the physical conditions that the doctors insist cause my physical pain still exist in my body, and yet I don't feel the pain. In hindsight, it seems obvious. The body and the mind are entwined. We are an integral unit. According to neuroscience, the thoughts we think plus the emotions we experience release chemicals that affect every cell in our body. The body is not an independent machine to fix. I wonder, how had I become so convinced that the fix had nothing at all to do with my inner life? How had I come to think of the body as a machine, entirely separate from thought, belief, emotion, and subconscious processes? I've learned it's not by accident. The Western medical industry is designed to keep consciousness, emotions, and beliefs entirely separate from the physical body. It's by design. We've been conditioned to think the way we do about pain, healing, and our bodies. When we experience pain and think there's something wrong with the body that we have to fix, that isn't our wisdom guiding us. That is us experiencing a line of coding executing in our subconscious. We are believing what we've been trained to believe. Conditioning works. And the mind, once conditioned in its obsessive need to be right, keeps us locked into that belief, even when it's against our interests, our health, and our happiness. Now, this isn't about blame, shame, or regret, but about awareness, because awareness is power. As we become aware that we have the power to create a change. So where did this belief that the body is entirely separate from the rest of our internal processes come from? Why do we live in this paradigm rather than in one where our entire being is treated? Well, my research, and by the way, I am creating an Amazon affiliate page that will hold most of my references and resources. It turned up a likely reason. For this, we're hopping in the old time machines. About 2,500 years ago, Hippocrates advised his patients to be wary of anger and its effects on illness. So way back, we had an inkling of how emotions and internal processes affect our health.
But that appreciation was dealt a crippling blow in the mid-17th century by René Descartes, who insisted the mind and the body were totally separate entities and should be studied and treated as such. I shared in a recent video that Descartes seemed to have two primary motivations for doing what he did, neither of which, to my mind, had anything to do with promoting or increasing health, but rather with serving special interests.
Now, I don't mean for you to take my word for it. Please do your own research and come back and share your thoughts with me.
To a large extent, Descartes' teaching remains the model for current medical research and practice. It's how we think of health, pain, and disease.
So, of course, it's a challenge for us to even consider that emotions, thoughts, belief, subconscious processes have an impact on the body and our health and our pain. But we are designed to overcome challenges, and as we do, we reclaim our power and maybe, just maybe, release ourselves from debilitating pain.
Hi, I'm Kathy. I offer talks, workshops, and mentorships on reclaiming your power from pain. Our next free live event is Sunday, June 4th. Would you like details?